Hello, students, and welcome to week 13 of Basic English. We are almost done. Can you believe it? So, this week, let's go ahead and continue in your book. This week, we are going to continue in Unit 12. If you remember, last week, we learned how to use words like much and many, which are called determiners. So this week, let's go ahead and continue in Unit 12. And in this session, we're going to learn how to describe problems and solutions. So let's begin. Oh, yes, and hello. Okay, first let's talk about our goals or objectives for this session. First, we're going to learn how to describe problems using much and many. We're going to learn to suggest solutions to problems. And really, today we're going to be talking about problems, how to describe them, and how to suggest some solutions to them. So let's go ahead and talk about problems. So first, let's review. Let's review countable and uncountable nouns. So last week we talked about this, right? Countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Do you remember what they are? First, let's talk about countable nouns. Countable nouns are things we can count. And remember that word count means like 1, 2, 3, 4, 10,000, a million, right? Count. So countable nouns are things we can count. For example, students, books, and trees. I can count students, right? In this class, I have 18 students. Over there, I have 100 books. Outside, there are millions of trees. I can count these things. So we call these nouns countable nouns. Now let's look at uncountable nouns. Remember, anytime we start a word with un, it means not, right? So these are things we can't count. We cannot say, oh, one of those, two of those, 10 of those. So these include words like pollution, water, and homework. I can't say, oh, there are 25 pollution today, or I have 11 water in my glass. No, just I have some water, I have a lot of water, right? And homework. We can't say, oh, I have 500 homework. No, we can say I have some homework, I have a lot of homework, I have too much homework. So we also talked about these words, much and many. So which one do we use and when? Do we use much with countable nouns or uncountable nouns? How about many? We use much with uncountable nouns. So I could say, for example, there is too much pollution today. Or do you have much homework, for example? Many is something we use with countable nouns. So I could say there are many students at Kyungnam University. Or there are so many trees in Korea, right? So remember this moving forward, because when we talk about problems, problems can also be nouns, and sometimes we use many, and sometimes we use much. So remember that many is for countable nouns, and much is for uncountable nouns, okay? So quickly, let's go ahead and look at these 5 words and see, is it much or many? Our first word here is time. Can I count time? Can I say, I only have 20 time? No. It is uncountable, so we would use much. I don't have much time. How about students? Can we count students? Yes. So we could say many. There are many students, or there aren't many students. How about classes? Can we count classes? Can I say I have 10 classes? Yes. So we would also use many. There are many classes at the school. How about exams? Countable? Also, yes. So we could say many exams. There are many exams at the end of the semester. By the way, we will talk about your final exam in the next session. Okay, so don't worry. And our last word is water. Can I say, I have 200 water? No. We can say, I don't have much water, or do you have much water, and so on, because it's uncountable, right? So let's go ahead and continue now that we have remembered when to use much and many. So we're going to talk about problems and solutions using words like much, many, more, and enough. Okay? These are our key words and phrases. We're going to talk about the words or phrases too much and too many, enough and not enough. So let's go ahead and look at what these mean. If I have too much of something or too many of something, it means there's more of something than needed. So, for example, if I am talking about a problem, I could say, oh, in summertime, there are too many mosquitoes, right? Oh, too many in summer. I hate them. Next, there's the word enough. If I have enough of something, that means I don't need more and I don't need less. It's perfect. I have enough. I have enough water to get through all of my lectures today. And finally, we have not enough. This means I need more, right? More of something is needed. Maybe I am cooking breakfast. Oh no, no eggs. I could say there are not enough eggs to make breakfast. So these are terms we use when talking about problems. It's important, let me move my face here so you can see. Okay, it's important to note that the words enough and not enough can be used with countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Remember that much and many are special, right? Many is for countable nouns. Many books, many students, many problems. Much is for uncountable. There is too much pollution. There's too much crime, right? There's so much water in the ocean, right? But enough and not enough can be used with any noun, okay? Any noun. So that's enough of that. Let's keep talking about these phrases. So let's go ahead and start thinking about some common problems at school. So let's try to look at these 5 things and see, is there too much, too many, enough, or not enough? Maybe we can try to think, how do most students feel? So let's look first at classes. Classes are something we can count, right? So we could say something like, oh, there are too many classes at school. I have to take too many classes. Students are also something we can count. I could say, there are enough students. This means we don't need more, we don't need less, there's enough. Perfect. Exams. Do you think there are not enough exams? Maybe again we could say too many. There are too many exams. How about studying? Studying is not countable, right? We can't count studying, so we could say too much. Oh, there is too much studying. Common problems, right? And finally, how about free time? Do you have too much free time or not enough? This means I have this much free time, but I need this much, right? I want more free time. So I could say there's not enough free time. These are ways we can talk about common problems. We can use too much, too many, enough, or not enough to describe the problem we are having. So let's go ahead and listen. All right. So here we see that Yumi and her group over here, Yumi and her group are explaining a problem at school and suggesting their solution. So please listen. What is their solution? Okay, so let's listen.
Unit 12, Making Things Better. Page 108, Challenge Preview.
Hey, everybody! Today we're going to present our idea to improve school life.
Great. Let's hear it.
First, Anna is going to tell you about the problem at our school, City University. Anna?
Here's the problem. We don't have enough places to eat lunch at City U, so the cafeteria is always crowded. There are too many people, and there isn't enough time to eat lunch.
Thanks, Anna. Next, Kirsten is going to explain our idea. Kirsten?
We need more places to eat, so we want to set up food stalls. One stall sells lunch boxes. Another stall sells sandwiches. And another one sells Indian food.
Now, Ethan is going to show why this is a good idea. Ethan?
Okay, look at this drawing. There are lines at each food stall, but the lines are short. And the cafeteria line is short too.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. What do you think?
All right, now that we have finished the listening, what was their solution? Was it to build a new cafeteria, open an Indian restaurant, or to set up some food stalls? Their solution was to set up some food stalls, which we can see in their picture as well, right? They do not want to make a new cafeteria. They just want to add some more options for students, right? This is their solution. Okay, let me move my face again down here so we can see the words. Okay, we're going to listen again. This time, please fill in the blanks with the words from the word bank. So here, up here, we see the words too many, enough, more, and again, enough. So let's listen again, and please fill in the blanks.
Unit 12, Making Things Better. Page 108, Challenge Preview.
Hey, everybody. Today we're going to present our idea to improve school life.
Great. Let's hear it.
First, Anna is going to tell you about the problem at our school, City University. Anna?
Here's the problem. We don't have enough places to eat lunch at City U, so the cafeteria is always crowded. There are too many people, and there isn't enough time to eat lunch.
Thanks, Anna. Next, Kirsten is going to explain our idea. Kirsten?
We need more places to eat, so we want to set up food stalls. One stall sells lunch boxes. Another stall sells sandwiches. And another one sells Indian food.
Now, Ethan is going to show why this is a good idea. Ethan?
Okay, look at this drawing. There are lines at each food stall, but the lines are short. And the cafeteria line is short too.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. What do you think?
All right, let's go ahead and check our answers. All right, so here we see, here's the problem. We don't have enough places to eat. Let's go through the answers first and then we'll look closely. There are too many people and there isn't enough time to eat. We need more places to eat. So let's look at this example and see how problems are described. So here we see not enough. So we could say there are not enough places, or we don't have enough places to eat lunch, right? So the problem is only one place to eat lunch. There are not enough. Another problem is too many people. People, of course, is countable. We can have 5 people, 10 people, which is why we use many. And also, there is not enough time. So again, we see that not enough. So there are 3 problems. Not enough places to eat, too many people, and not enough time to eat. So they are trying to explain and come up with a solution to their problem. And their solution is we need more places to eat. And then they talk about what they want to do. So here we see number 1, they talk about and describe their problems. What are the problems? And then they talk about the solution. Okay? Let's continue. So there are many ways we can describe problems. And remember from before, we can use words like too much, too many, enough, and not enough. Let me move my face again. Don't want to be in the way. So let's go ahead and fill in these blanks with some examples. If we're describing a problem, first we say, what is the problem? For example, we don't have enough free time. We have too much homework. There are not enough social events or places to meet people, right? Social means with other people. And there are too many students. So just like we saw in the listening, we can use these words enough, not enough, too much, and too many to describe problems, right? So that's step 1. Now we need to add a step 2. We need to talk about the effect of the problem. So let's look at number 1. We don't have enough free time, so I'm often stressed, right? What is the effect of the problem? Or why is it a problem? We have too much homework, so I have to study every night. There are not enough social events, so I can't make new friends. And there are too many students, so I can't talk to my teacher. So, this simple strategy, problem, effect. Problem, effect is an easy way to describe a problem, right? We don't have enough, we have too much, there are too many. And why is that a problem? Oh, I'm often stressed. Okay? So, what do you think are some problems with school these days? Of course, we have the coronavirus, right? So that is a big problem for school. All of our classes are online. We cannot see each other in class. So maybe you have too much homework, or not enough time, or too much time at home. What do you think are some problems? Think about it for a moment because we're going to talk about it more soon, okay? So, what do you think are some problems? Now that we have talked about problems, let's learn how to describe solutions. Solutions, yes. So, there are always problems. A solution is how to fix the problem, right? For example, if my problem is I am so tired, the solution is to get sleep, right? So, problem and solution. So, now that we know describing problems, let's talk about solutions. So, remember, we know how to give advice. This is a very common part of English, right? Giving advice. And we have learned about it and how to give it in many ways. We have learned how to give average, normal, everyday advice. You should go to the doctor. I think you should do this. We've learned how to give fashion advice, right? Oh, I like your shirt, but I think you should wear a jacket, right? So here is another example of another way that we give advice. We use the same verbs. Anytime we give advice or give a suggestion, we use verbs like should, right? Should, would, could, suggest, and recommend. For example, you should get more sleep. If I were you, I'd go to bed early, right? If we're still talking about being tired. And remember, I'd means I would. You could try waking up later in the day. I suggest that you stop looking at your phone too close to bedtime, right? I recommend that you listen to calm music to help you sleep. So these are all ways that we already know how to give advice. So let's apply it and try to suggest solutions to these problems, okay? So here is number 1. I don't have enough free time, so I'm often stressed. What advice would you give me if I said that? Oh, I'm often stressed. I don't have free time. Well, you could say something like, you could try cutting out unnecessary activities. Excuse me. Or you should wake up earlier so you have more time. So this is the problem. And here is my suggested solution. You could do this. You should do this. Let's look at our next problem. I have too much homework, so I have to study every night. Well, that's a hard problem, right? You can't really say, teacher, less homework, right? Well, maybe you could, but I suggest that you take fewer classes next semester. If it is too much homework, maybe take fewer classes. Or I recommend doing a little bit every day, right? So again, we have our problem and some solutions. I suggest, I recommend. And our last problem, I know in the online classes, this is a big problem, right? The lecture videos are too long. So I get tired when I watch them, or maybe bored, or maybe you are playing on your phone. Oh, teacher is talking. Yeah. So it's a little difficult, right? Big problem. You can't focus, you get tired. So what's a solution to that problem? You could have coffee before you watch or while you watch. Or I could say you should watch a little bit each day instead of watching all the videos at once. So again, problem and solution. I do suggest this. If you didn't do it this semester, try to do it next semester. Don't wait until Sunday and then video. Just a little each day. You will learn more and it will be easier that way. So here we are, almost at the end. What do you think are some problems with schools these days? So I asked you this a couple minutes ago, and I want you to do two things for your assignment. You're going to comment on what you think problems are with school these days, right? There are too many students in one class. There is not enough time for this, and so on. Whatever problem. Remember to use words like too much, too many, and not enough. Then give some advice to your classmates. For example, if your classmate says, "Oh, there is too much homework. I am so busy." Oh, you should. I think you should. And you can suggest a solution. Okay? All right, everyone. That is it for session 1. So we learned a bit about how to describe problems and solutions. And now you're going to practice in the discussion post. I'll see you in session 2. Okay? Bye-bye.